What's going on, Gundam pilots and aficionados? We are here with Chaos playing green-white wing as I am playing green-red wing, and this is going to be first turn, so we're going to go ahead and start off. Now, beforehand, we were pre-recorded this video with the notion of we weren't drawing first, which seemed fair and made sense, but then I found out going to a tournament that first player draws. So essentially this match is on a handicap, but as we're going further into playing and understanding the game, we will be playing it that way going forward. But from the matches that I recorded last night, that seems very cracked. That's all I'm gonna say is being able to draw first turn is ridiculous, and we all played first turn that way, which ugh. But yes, I get the EX resource. He gets to go first, and starting off, he's going in a little strong here with I believe it's Zowart. Not really sure. 1 second, and it's probably indeed a Zowart. He's just double checking to make sure that he's doing proper levels and all that. And I'm at 3 resources, but I decided not to play what I had in my hand. Reason being is because we come to find out that yes, dropping bird is cool on turn 2, but it does nothing, especially if the threat on the board is just a Zowart. Essentially, you have another turn to wait and see what you want to play. Now, that's just what we came up with, and then in my head, I was like, that makes more sense because right now I'm at a pseudo 3 while he's on 3 curve, and I can easily wait next turn, go into level 4, which is, you see exactly that's what he did too. So his turn 3 turns into bird, goes and does this. Now I can pretend like I don't have the EX resource as well, and go into 3 as well, and then activate my bird to do a jump to 5. So now he's on curve as well to 5, so we'll both be even. But the fact of the matter here is basically you want to stay on that ramp until you have death sight, or you can make a giant play like hitting him with 0 early, which currently it's still early game, so nothing like that crazy is gonna happen. So for the most part here, we're just all trying to figure out like what the plays are, the optimal plays are here. Which he for somebody who literally just started the game, he plays very optimally, and I do appreciate that. So it's helping me learn quite a few things. And as you can see, we're technically level 3, level 4, but we're able to play these bigger leveled number of cards because of the sheer fact that we are able to ramp a turn early or something like that. So it just makes it kind of crazy. Yep. So we go path to victory or defeat for the wing 0. So we're already setting up for the pseudo 2 more turns. I can go into some madness, right? And that's actually a really good pickup, especially like to kind of threaten your opponent. Hey, I know you want to try to go ahead and do this low to the ground rush play, but like just keep in mind I do have the thing in hand to wipe your board basically. And he hits it with another bird, so we're going EX resource, and then with that bird you swing for damage. It's perfect, especially like that, like you're just pinging damage onto it. And essentially I need to figure out how to go around and make I'm not gonna say a better play, but I have to catch up now since I'm on the back foot here. as well as the old green-red deck. There are some questionable cards in here, but at the same time, the thought process was there. So I did improve this deck from what it was before. Yeah, so right now I'm gonna go ahead and just Shenlong. I wouldn't per se say this was bait, but this is more so like to stop the early game aggression and be able to do kind of a 3-for-1 with this. I swing into the wing bird mode. The fact that I don't take any damage from this is kind of stupid. So we swing into it, get breach because we're destroying a unit with the effect. And then, so with the attack of Shenlong, basically what I just did was, since that's a level 3 or lower blocker, he just outright destroys it. So that's a nice 2-for-1 trade, and then I also smack the barrier for 4, which is pretty stupid. It's a heavy number, and I still retain my EX base for right now, so he can crack it if he wants to in a second. But like how that was a play by sacrificing, you know, level economy, I'm 2 levels behind now, but this is a very solid move here to do, especially if you have the opportunity to do it. You might want to go ahead and just do it early and then just wait for either Death Sight to come or drop a bird to catch back up. But it all is pretty good. So currently I'm sitting with the 6/5 Shenlong, and essentially I'm threatening board clearance with just this effect. Now, the reason why you're threatening board clearance is because if he can't get Shenlong off the board, he's going to be in danger by attacking with little guys, because I'm basically getting free 2-for-1s off of that. Because it's like, okay, well, he's not bigger than a 3 AP, so I'm going to go ahead and swing over it, don't take any damage, you hit for breach, and breach hits shields and bases, so it's a really good effect. You cannot kill off of doing breach if they have no shield area. So alright, we're paying 3, dropping, nice. So yeah, the first contact, I'm just mentioning how ridiculous first contact is, because it's literally a, I suggest probably like a 1 or 2 of maybe of this card. It's a good card. I just feel like Bird does it better because it's also a unit. So, but as you can see, he's pretty far ahead. He's, I think next turn he can drop 0 if he wants. And I'm just explaining like that's just hyper cracked because of the fact that like you can just literally hit that for I was like, dog, I was like, next turn, dude, like, wing 0's a thing. Actually, even if, let's say he has another bird mode, and he can also, essentially, pay 2 to get it, and then get the EX resource back, so he's still in the same position, which is pretty cool, too. But yeah, he wanted to keep it safe, 2 up, so I kind of had to figure out like how to play around, because this is green-white, so might get hit with like unforeseen incident, stuff like that. And currently right now I'm sitting at 5 resources, so just holding it right now, trying to figure out what to do, and I'm just gonna go ahead and attack. Now the reason why you attack first is just in case they do have a rebuttal. The guy that's already on the board, he's already been there. You can go ahead and have him take the lunge essentially into this. And then we were just talking about this card last night. So he was like, this type of card right here should have like a burst effect. I agree, but also don't agree. Maybe if the burst effect was like just a draw, yeah, it'd be cool. But like that card's already super good by itself. So yeah, we hit breach. Clear the board there, so now we're in a decent position. we went from being on the back foot to that now I have 5, so we're gonna go into Path of Victory or Defeat, and I'm gonna be searching for something that I need. Not necessarily sure what that was at the time, but I'm assuming I probably need like a pilot or something to basically crack this off. And I'm just here explaining like, okay, well, I'm gonna look at the top 5 and figure out what I need here. Very strange that I think my hand was like all heroes right there, but I'm gonna go into the bird mode to try to catch up here. Definitely need to try to get like some type of momentum going, especially if I have a death scythe or something in hand. That's a really good play to do. So with the extra economy I have, we're gonna go ahead and pay the 3, drop the bird mode, get the EX resource, thus catching back up here. So it's cool to use that early, like the one that when you're going second, it's good to use it early, and then like you'll get it back with bird mode, or you can hold on to it for like up until turn 3, and then you'll have 2, so you'll be 2 levels ahead. And then I'm just like, hey, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and use these 2 and drop out Buster Gundam. Buster initially I thought was like super good. Now it's a good effect, but only if you're using like a Zaft traded thing. But the support 3 is really cracked. I just wish that like for that cost that it was a bit stronger, honestly, because support I feel like is like probably one of the weakest mechanics in the game so far. It's really good, but then you also got to think about it. Essentially, if you play Digimon, it's like playing Alliance, where you're giving the creature like plus whatever DP, or in this case AP, plus whatever AP, but like it doesn't get like double attack how you have security attack in Digimon. So it was rather a scary situation here. I was just like, okay, cool. Drop this out, basically threaten the board right now, and then essentially trying to make him play Wing 0 a little early. Yeah, I'm gonna take damage. I'm gonna take damage, and most of these guys are gonna get fucking like wiped. But at the same time, like, you gotta think about it this way. You kind of put them on better habit, or you have to use it, which, you know, makes sense. You're hitting for this, and then I believe the Shenlong also takes 3 damage if you're at it to level 5. Then you go hero. Now he has a choice to either do high maneuver, or he can smack into the Shenlong here. And I believe he goes for the Shenlong because he's obviously bigger, so you got to get the guy off the board. You have to for that like purpose. And as you can see, this is turn 7, so he was able to drop it out a turn early, especially with the EX resources being like ramped up as high as they were. And I'm on turn 5, which, you know, yikes. But and this is why First Contact is a good card, because it already puts you ahead by a turn. Yes, it's expensive, but at the same time, like, it's a good 1 or 2 up, like I was saying. And with how he's using the card economy, it's like mind blowing that he's able to stay ramped up at least a turn ahead of me, which is ridiculous. So yeah, I kind of have to do this at this point. Drop the Death Scythe, and then I believe I'm going to be playing the duo. I was telling him, like, when it's paired, it does the effect and I get the first strike and all that. Just explain to him. Although I believe the 0 is at like 3 HP at this point or something like that. I could have not done what I did, but like at the same time, you gotta play it as if, like, let's say this wasn't the pair and the next turn he did Chang Wu Fei and just swung into like somebody else's little. you'd have to figure out a way to get around this without dying. So I go ahead and pair, catch up just a smidge. So now I'm on turn 7. Or so now I'm on level 7 with this combination, and then I'm explaining like normally this is a type of thing, like let's say you high maneuvered instead and just swung into me, I would have to deal with a 9. So I was just explaining to them how I was going to do this. So support 3, use the effect. It would unpair if it was targeting Zaft and I had it paired, or it would stand back up if I had Zaft and it was doing paired. But this is how we're doing this. You get the resource, and then I can't be AP reduced, so this is really good against white in particular. Swinging for 9, which made it basically like a pretty good play. And then decided to refortify my base by using a 6-drop base, or a 6 defense base basically. And with this particular play right here, I'm like, okay, cool, this is great. He's at level 8 now officially, so Wing Zero can just come out and pop stuff if he wants to. But yeah, I did this in regard to some people like to use high maneuver in order to swing into the base, thus causing me to try to deal with Wing Zero early. Now, he didn't have a choice in getting rid of the Shenlong, because Shenlong was just going to start doing stuff. And like trades do become very beneficial towards this point of the game. Oh, and then he answers back with his own base for 1. These 1-drop 6 HP bases are crazy, because you have to commit a whole big guy into these, and it's just like, it's so irritating. That, or if you're playing low to the ground, all your guys have to pretty much go into that, and you have to figure out like how to do it. Zaku 2 is a good option for that, because it becomes a 4. It becomes a 4 when it's swinging. So you know, you waste a few more, or you waste fewer attacks doing so. All right, and then let's see, possibly so we have 7 on board. We can either snap back and hit a Death Scythe and ramp, or there's like Shenlong play. There's a whole lot of things you can do here, especially with 7 up. So we go 4. Okay, 4 into the wing with breach 5. I think he just did this to like leave it up, so I have to figure out like how to get around this for the most part. From what I'm seeing, like it's just a setup for next turn, and there's nothing wrong with playing just a unit. Honestly, it's part of the game. I learned that also, that like you can just play a singular unit and wait for next turn to swing. Or you can set up a couple of plays here to where it's beneficial for you to do so. Alright. And then this was another cope card that I put in my deck, Dual Gundam, but I decided not to go Dual Gundam right here. Dual Gundam was like, I read it strangely, and I was like, yo, this is a good effect, but then I realized you're just doing that to get the breach. And it's a lot of commitment to give like dual plus anything to get breach when you have several like green cards that do breach stuff. Excuse me. And like, yeah, this is cool. I got 2 units out. You know, next turn I'm gonna start trying to serve up. But at the same time, it's a waste for the most part to play something that you have to give breach to when stuff like Rig Dom is like the same like cost level and stats, and already has breach baked into them. So there were some changes made after the deck. It's just I was testing out. I really wanted the Buster Gundam to work. There's a couple of other red cards in here that I play in this deck, so I was trying to go more so that way. And then for this particular, since I couldn't attack with those 2 units, I just went ahead and used Death Scythe. Didn't bother going into the support. It wasn't needed. The support's only needed whenever like you're trying to get rid of a big guy and you need just that extra oomph. And hopefully they don't have any type of white stuff that reduces, because that actually does suck, especially whenever you do the effect and they hit you with the unforeseen. Making support 3 basically useless, and then turning your guy back into a small guy, and you essentially just crashed your guy into a bigger dude and died. I've had it happen in tournaments. It sucks. And then you have one dead guy, and then the guy that's rested because you just sat there and took it. Kind of sucks. But yeah, okay. So we're dropping a second wing here. He has Breach 5, so there's several options here where you can kind of just do stuff. So we got 4 dropped, and then we do 4 more for, I believe it's another unit. Yeah, Aerostrike. I believe I was telling him about the as we paired. Yeah, so essentially Kira has to come on that effect and then you spin it back. Again, this is like the earlier versions of the game. You'll see in later gameplay like we do a whole lot better with all that. Now, I assumed that he was going to pair it with Kira. So I was like, okay, cool, this guy gets spun back. I have another turn of having to get back up and do this again. And then, yeah, drop Sananju, pay the 1 for the full frontal. And essentially this is part of the combo that I like to do right here. Now, since fixing the deck, I do have a lot of Zeon, Neo Zeon stuff to drop. So we're going to go ahead and swing during pair, high maneuver, so he cannot block me. So we're going to swing into shields. And basically what this does is puts pressure on him with this effect. Now that I hit a shield, I'm going to pop for 2. Clearly going to hit the blocker, because now like you're wanting to hit blocker, making it weaker. And then now that this guy is safe, we're going to go ahead and swing with support 3, making it plus making it 6. Yeah, so we make it 6 as breach. He has to block basically to do the trade. So yeah, we both trade. I get the breach into the shield. Gets an EX resource for that, which is kind of wacko. And then I believe I only have 2 attacks left, so then there's no real way for me to just kind of get more off of that. But this is the reason why support is like not as prevalent or good as it needs to be, is because like the bigger stuff like that is missing effects and stuff like that. So we go Death Scythe and then Shenlong. We're trying to get a little greedy here so we can catch up. Now, in hindsight, I will say this is kind of a bad hit right here. But I think with how the board was solidifying, I think he had 2 cards in hand. There wasn't a way to get around all that, so I wind up taking this match. Especially considering I have like 5 life left. So essentially, we overran with the supports and stuff like that. So yeah, guys, that's going to be the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.